Hello, fans. We're taking a brief moment to recognize and show our appreciation for the incredible support of our sponsors. Their commitment not only fuels our content, but also ensures we can bring you the very best of the airgun world. Firstly, a huge shout out to Southern Precision Air Weapons. Ken is a master of hard-hitting airgun tunes that deliver unrivaled accuracy. Moving on, we extend our gratitude to High Pressure Pneumatics. Be sure to check out what Tom has going on at his store in Michigan and online as well. Let's not forget the remarkable contribution of DonnyFL. Their innovations in suppressors have revolutionized the experience in the field, combining stealth with performance. A special thanks to GX Compressors as well for their robust and efficient compressors that are an absolute game changer in the pneumatic technology and convenience. And lastly, we express our sincere appreciation for Sabre Tactical. Their tactical gear is not only about strength and durability, it's about taking your airgun experience to the next level. We proudly stand alongside these titans of the airgun industry and invite you, our valued listeners, to explore their outstanding offerings. Supporting our sponsors is directly supporting the Airgun Geeks, enabling us to continue delivering you the content you love and trust. Thank you for being the most essential part of our journey. Your engagement and support make all of this possible. Until next time, stay tuned and keep supporting those who make the Airgun Geeks a reality.
Welcome, Airgun Geeks. Today's a special podcast. Bill, first off, came in from California here to Florida, enjoying the low humidity. Wink, wink, not.
Yeah.
He's been done
crappy weather out here in Florida, I gotta tell you. I'm a little spoiled.
I think we're the spoiled ones. I agree. So we did some iguana hunting since Bill's been here, so we've exposed him to that. We got some highlights coming up on that fun event, and Bill's a crack shot at the iguanas. Absolutely exciting time that we've had here, and
we'll put some images up right here to show the effect we were able to have with our airgun prowess. I came out here originally for the Airgun Iguana Sniper Challenge that Jessica put on. She did a fantastic job. And Pat, I think the one thing I was most impressed with about that contest was Lauren Parsons, as a match director and MC, just took total control of that event and really put on a great show.
Like it was
so
50.
My hats off to AOA and landing somebody like Lauren and putting on an amazing show that day. She kept that whole herd of rabble rousers focused and on point and really did a great job putting on.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It was like it was the 50-year event and everything was planned perfectly and all of that. Even when there was a little bit of stressfulness, they're like, and everyone flowed with it. We had a blast. Met all sorts of people. People came from all over the United States, which was exciting. It was a very good time. I can't wait till next year.
I'd like to know if anybody traveled further than I did for that.
That I talked to, I think you are absolutely the farthest because Lauren would be number 2.
Yeah.
And then the rest came from like Tennessee, all over the state of Florida, which was exciting in itself, because this was the second extreme field target in Florida. No, the third one. So it's really taken off. Those that weren't there, a lot of the donators to it put in money to buy actual extreme field targets to stay here in Florida, and they paid for a trailer to transport them. Yeah. So 2025 is going to be awesome. Absolutely excited for the upcoming year.
Yeah, very much. And, for me, it was my first foray into extreme field target. And I've shot a few field target matches, regular field target, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. But word to the wise, like any competition, do your preparation, be ready, know your gun really well, know what it's like when it's not working well, know what it's like when it is working well, and how to recognize that, because I had some flight challenges getting out here and ended up delaying what would have been our practice time. Pat had tire issues, lots of stuff ended up meaning I didn't get the dope on my gun before that event. And it allowed Pat a little advantage, and he he actually he edged me out in the field target game, and I'm like, man, I've shot so much more field target than you. How did you beat me? And the answer is, well, number one, it's a really good shot, and number two, I didn't go into this with the right preparation. I didn't devote the time that I should have to that. Now, my gun performed exceptionally well because he was able to beat me with it. Yeah, he beat me with my own freaking gun. And
When you're good, you're good. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Didn't mean to boast. Sorry.
well, I turned around and beat him in the Iguana Sniper challenge, which was a paper challenge, largely because he had a mechanical failure
Yep.
on his gun. It wasn't working up to par, and again, it was a preparation thing. It's all about that, spending that time to be ready to go. And I will not make that mistake again. I probably will, but and I'll probably talk about it again. But you got to go in with your A game, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. I got some cool stuff at the raffle. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that was I definitely made my money back on the raffle tickets. So
So did I.
plus there, and now I've got to ship all that stuff home to me. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was a
And
great time.
yeah, I have really come to actually love the act of stalking and hunting iguanas. Now, I have a little different game than Pat does. Pat is he's going to go in short action gun. He's gonna bring the fight. I'm the guy who wants to hang back. I've got an advantage in distance and energy for my crown. I can just lay back and snipe the holy crap out of them. And the nice thing is they don't see me. They don't know there's a problem, and they're just looking over the iguana next to them. Hey, what are you taking a nap for? And then one, then they're gone. So it's to me it's a it resonates well with who I am. I've always had the image of me being a sniper in my mind. I think so. For me to live that out was a heck of a lot of fun. So yeah, I definitely got into the iguana hunting scene. So on that topic, Pat, you've got some opportunities for folks, fans, to book
Correct.
an iguana hunt with you, and I gotta say, it is Target Forge certified A+. Do it. You'll have a great time.
So those that want to go on a hunt, besides doing the fantastic podcast, the Airgun Geeks, with Bill and our soon-to-be introduced guest, you can check out Lizard Extinction. Too many things going on in my head. LizardExtinction.com, and we offer different rates whether you have an air gun or not. I will say you need to get ready for the humidity and be properly prepared, but we will take care of you. It is tons of fun. Many of memories will be made, and it's a growing sport down here, and you actually have to hunt them because they do move. So
and Pat's got an adventure van that puts Scooby-Doo to shame. So you get to ride in the adventure van too.
possibly, yeah. So with that being said, I want to introduce someone that I met when I moved down to Florida and have been chatting with before I moved down to Florida, and he's opened his arms and his heart, and we built
it's a really big heart.
It is. It's been a long journey because it takes time to gain trust. You can't just give it. And that is something I've learned. And I want to introduce a really good friend now, Johan from the Iguana People or Sunset Aquatics.
Hey, how you all doing? I'm glad to be here today. On a note that you guys went to that event that Jessica did, I heard that it was phenomenal. One of our guys, LW, aka Pappy, I guess, was there. Did you meet him there?
He shot right next to me.
Yeah,
Great guy.
He's a hell of a guy. He's going to be coming on with us now on more of a full-time thing. Because he's going to be doing some other things in his life, which is great. We could always use somebody like Pappy. I love him to death. And great job, Pappy. I'm sorry that you couldn't make it here today, but it's a great job that you're doing out there. And I'm glad that you were with two guys like this, to do that. So I do the whole iguana thing, but I do the whole catching thing as far as with the snares and everything. We use certain types of air guns here. We use Curve-On and Hatson.
Where do you get those, Johan?
We have a guy named Pablo from Airgun One. He sponsors us. He took us on when we were rather young in the industry. I think, believe it or not, I think we only had like 200 or 300 subscribers,
Wow.
at the time. And we came in and he just felt as though that, we had the gumption to move. And he
He
said,
must have seen something.
he
then.
did.
Yeah.
He did. First and foremost, I love people. That's one of the things. And anything that you can reach out of a dream and grab hold of
Yep.
is not just a dream, it's a goal to me.
Mhm.
But we'll get back onto that. But Pablo from Airgun One, he's right down there in West Palm Beach. You'll probably find the information down below here. I don't know exactly the address, but it's in West Palm Beach off a Military
We'll find
Trail.
We'll find
You'll find the link down below if he adds it. But I'm sure that I'll give it to him and he'll put it on there. But we only had like a couple of hundred subscribers, and he felt as though that we were a great team, because we were killing them left and right. I mean, man, the guy I got shooting for us, Grabby, we call him Grabby. I won't say his legal name online because I don't have his permission, but we call him Grabby. You'll see him on a lot of my videos. He shoots that gun, that curve on from Turkey. They're out of Turkey.
Mm.
And I'll tell you what, they pack a punch. They're a great, great weapon. I've seen him hit them like from 100 yards with this thing,
Dang.
and that's it. They do rolls. So yeah, but we use Pablo. Pablo is a great guy. He's stuck by us. He gives us a new gun like every few months. Every time he gets something in, he gives us a new gun to try. And now, we're up to like almost 50,000 subscribers, and it's really good. We gear ourselves, to make a family here. We feel as though that if we're all one together, there's nothing that we can't move. We're aggressively getting jobs overseas. We're using all of our iguanas for everything. We utilize the heads, we utilize the bones, we utilize the skins, we utilize sometimes the flesh for grinding up and selling to the crab market on the other side for bait on the West Coast. So there's so many things that we can do. When I say there's so many things we can do, there is. All of the bones go to reptile art, and they're used to do replica things and stuff like that. So
you're not only removing the iguana,
yeah,
but you're also repurposing that tissue for a lot of really positive purposes.
yeah,
You're getting that flesh, that extra flesh that you have in the hands of fishermen, crabbers, those guys. You're getting the hides in the hands of Italian leather people that are doing the tanning.
Yep.
And you're using the bones. So every component of that, it's really amazing.
Yep, to the tune of 400,000 a year. Yep,
Wow.
exactly.
Wow.
So, we come from nothing. When we first came here, I only had my two sisters, Debbie and Pat, that took me in. I had nowhere to go. It's like I said, I lost my only daughter. I was so depressed on where I was living. I decided, you know what? I came down here and I went hunting with a guy named Raj the Iguana Man. I did a tour with him. I paid my $250 or whatever it was, and he took me out on a tour, and that was it. I got the bug for the air guns and everything else. It made me so happy. I went home, and that was it. I packed my things and I came back to Florida, and my two sisters gave me a place to stay on their couch. I stayed there for 3 weeks, and I would go out and I would just walk the canals and catch stuff, by hand with the big pole, and until finally somebody from the state stopped me and said, "Hey, do you got a card?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." And I gave him a piece of paper because I went to Office Max.
Yeah.
And I designed like 1,000 piece of flyers, because what I was doing was I was wrapping them up with rocks, and at night I would drive around and throw them on people's lawns. But anyway, and I gave him that, and he said, "Hey, give me a call." And next thing you know, I'm doing, a state educational facility, my first contract over $30,000, and that was it, and it started to escalate from there. I got Grabby, I got Ollie, and, they're the greatest team I got. I got Pappy, and, I got Pat, we're all going to be putting our heads together. And we're working on a real big deal with skins right now. So I need hunters that that'll incorporate with me, because I got an order for 250,000 skins to go to Europe. And if you guys can want to jump in with this deal, you need to contact me in a link below.
And just to make a point here on that exact topic, Pat and I have actually saved an entire cooler full of iguanas
There you go.
for the man here.
There you
So
go.
I was trying to get Pat to let me skin one. But he's like, "Oh, I mean, where to do that? I don't have any salt." Okay, all right, that's fine. Next time I will come here armed for skinning an iguana. Not because I really want to cut on an iguana, but just because I love the opportunity to learn. And I harvest animals regularly on my farm,
Mhm.
and taking them apart for me is a chance to learn how they
Yeah.
put together. How do they, what is the process? So, I that is something that really tends to geek me out. It doesn't. I'm not grossed out by it at all. I love having a connection to my food that
Mhm.
is real and honest.
Right.
And I think being able to know this is what it takes to go from four legs walking around to dinner table.
Right.
That's you honestly accepting who you are as a predator. And I have to apologize to all you vegans out there. We weren't born vegans. You may have decided to become one because you had a really good acid trip or something. But the reality is we have two forward-facing eyes for stereo vision. We have canine teeth. We have the ability, some of us who aren't old and overweight, to run all day long. That was our advantage in the wild when we were just another one of the animals. We could outrun every game animal on almost every continent. Not speed-wise, we're not going to do that, but time-wise. We had the ability to cool ourselves. We are predators. Everything about us is predatory. And if you're honest with that, and you're open with that, and you want to seek enlightenment, a great way to do that is to understand your connection to the animal world. And I think that may have been a large part of Johan's enlightenment while they've been here.
It is, because, like I said, as I've gone out for invasive species, I've seen the other end of it on the domestic animal issue that we're having. When we get out there and on these things, we're finding animals, that are abandoned. Sometimes we go and we do an iguana job, and there's 20 or 30 chickens running around that are owned by nobody. So what happens there? That's also becoming a problem for our ecosystem, because if you got wild chickens running out there, what makes you think that they're not going to stop up on a bee nest or something, or a beehive, and start eating all of the larvae out of that? You just can't have domestics running around. People think it's cute. Oh, let me throw these rabbits out here and do this and do that. But you know what? They breed like rats. Every 21 days, you got kittens running around, and you know what? They're gonna ruin your ecosystem.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
You must have balance. You've got to have
balance
in
you
your
gotta.
ecosystem, and that's the essence of ethical hunting.
Yep.
And everything else. We work hand in hand. Hunters and wildlife management are part of that solution.
Right.
Hunting is not evil. Hunting is not bad.
No.
Hunting is a necessary part of controlling animal population, because if you really want to see an animal suffering, watch a deer in an overpopulated area that can't sustain the number of deer in that area. That is a really tragic way for them to go. And I just think we're better at managing that than just letting them die
Yeah.
from really awful deaths. So I get it. You know, everybody's been affected by the Walt Disney effect.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Walt Disney gave all of these animals very human personas, and everybody wants to play the violin. And oh my God, it's so bad. What are you doing?
Yeah.
The reality is very different. You
Yeah.
are a predator.
Yeah.
You need to embrace that and be honest with yourself about that. Whether you choose to hunt or not is not
Right.
what I'm talking about,
Oh yeah.
but at least appreciate the honesty that comes from the people that are doing that work.
Yeah.
And we're not a bunch of evil knuckle dragging rednecks running around in the woods. We're intelligent men that are trying to use what talents and gifts we have to bring some balance back to that ecosystem.
So would you not agree, Johan, that when we're out removing iguanas or invasives, a good portion of it is education
Yes.
with the people that come up,
Right.
the client himself,
Yes.
on why we're doing it, what we're going to do with the animals.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be treated right, or we have to do what we need to do within the law.
Yeah.
And we're not just going to sport shoot the animal
No.
and throw it in the garbage can.
No.
And that's one thing that a lot of people that I've come across have said to me.
Yeah.
Well, you're not just going to throw them out? Absolutely not.
No.
And it's really impressed a lot of people with that. They're like, oh, well, we really like what you're going to do with that. We're going to utilize every bit of it. A lot of it, I like to work with the kids. So I'll get an iguana. If he's alive, then, you know, I hold it and we talk about, well, what's the pros of this animal? Oh, they're beautifully green.
And just to caution you, be very careful if
Yes.
you're picking up a live iguana.
Yes.
A lot of
It
ticks.
can really screw up your world.
Yep.
Hey, Airgun Geeks family, we've got some exciting news to share with you today. We're thrilled to announce our new partnership with some of the biggest names in the outdoor world: Airgun Depot, Cabela's, and Bass Pro Shops. This partnership means that when you use our special links to shop at these stores, it won't cost you a penny more, but it directly supports the Airgun Geeks podcast. We're really proud to be working with these outdoor giants, and it's all about helping us bring you the best coverage of the airgun world. So next time you're gearing up for your next outdoor adventure, remember to use our links. You'll be supporting us and helping keep the content you love coming.
So we talk about it, and we talk about like the negative sides, like they carry ticks, their nails, their tail. Them big spikes really aren't the dangerous part of the iguana. It's past them when it gets real low.
Yeah.
And I have people touch it and they're like, oh, that is sharp. I says,
Yeah.
that's what could hurt you. That's what could hurt the dog. That's their defense.
Yeah.
And then how big they can get in their colors. And, you know, I had an iguana up north growing up. Her name was Samantha. And she'd run around the house and she was fun. I never even understood what was going on down here. And this iguana problem started over 60 years ago. And Johan, what I just found out from the FWC current estimated guess of iguana population by 2026,
In the millions.
70 million iguanas.
Yes.
And now they're coming north,
Yes.
and it's not going to end. So doing it ethically, doing it efficiently is the way to do it. If you don't do it, you're going to have a problem. I go, it's a lot like doing rodents. You know, yeah, they're cute, but we don't want them in our house.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to go to the toilet and see an iguana looking at you, which has happened a lot more than expected.
Right.
And to be honest, we're never going to own this war.
No.
It's not a war you can win.
No.
It's a matter of determining where they are, where they can be, and where they can't be. And you've got to go in with the pointy ended stick and remove them from the areas you don't want them. And you're never going to win that fight. It's like rats on my farm.
Right.
It's a constant battle.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I'm fighting a multi-pronged attack on them. I've got traps. I've got dogs that are
Right.
brilliant
Right.
at killing rats. I've got barn cats that
Right.
sustain themselves
Yeah.
mostly on the rodent
'Cause
population.
you can't use poison because you have other live
Right,
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And and I love airgun hunting
Yeah.
rats. I mean,
Yeah.
technically that's not hunting, that's pesting. I
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
pesting.
But honestly, you learn hunting any animal,
Yeah.
you've got to understand that animal on a very foundational level. You have to know their behavior.
Yeah.
it's like going fishing and not knowing anything about fish.
Mhm.
You're probably going to have more time sitting there drinking beer
Yeah.
than you are actually fishing. But understanding that fish, understanding what stimulates them, then you, all of a sudden you're on the Bass Pro Tour. It's that difference. But yeah, there's a lot to learn, a lot to know, and you had mentioned your channel.
Mhm.
Johan, what is your channel? Take a moment to talk about your channel.
My channel is called Sunset Aquatics on YouTube.
Mhm.
Okay. The reason why I call it Sunset Aquatics is because Sunset Park is a fun place where I used to live
Mhm.
in New York. I was always into aquatics. Many years ago, I would raise koi fish and ornamental goldfish. I did very well. Matter of fact, some of you guys may have known at one point in time, Walmart's had koi and goldfish.
Mhm.
The reason why that is because I was one of the ones who used to grow for them. I had 11 accounts with Walmart, and I used to sell them all kinds of goldfish and koi and stuff like that. The problem is what that happened there is that they had to phase that out because they didn't have anybody who was really educated in aquatics. And if you ever went down to the system, it's not like I'm going to bash anybody. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but they just didn't know the procedure, and how to deal with that.
And
So
in their defense, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to have a
Yeah.
commodity employee
exactly,
and a
exactly,
very specialized knowledge set needed to keep those animals alive.
exactly.
And
So
they're in conflict, and that's not
Yeah.
good business.
yeah. So, but like I said, with that, I also like critters. I love critters. I'm just not an iguana slayer. Listen, it doesn't necessarily have to be iguanas. Anything out there that it's invasive is not good. So if we have a thing where we can use them for something, it's always good. Right now, even the invasive tilapia that we're gathering, I'm trying to figure out how to use the skin for leather. You understand? Because we had heard from a group over in Southeast Asia that using tilapia skin as leather for wallets.
Hmm.
So I had one of my reps.
Sounds fishy, though.
Yeah, it does sound very fishy, but the contract is $8 a skin. So,
Wow.
but and if I sold them 43,000 pieces, you do the math.
Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
That's
I'm always looking.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm always looking
Yeah.
to get into something. So if I can use something, if I can use skins for this and skins for that. From what I understand, they're using some of the skins we use, and they're manufacturing a man-made product with the product that we have. That's making sheets of this stuff, and they're making bags out of it. They're making shoes out of it, wristwatch thing. So all of that stuff is being used. Sometimes we get orders for the whole head. They're using the skull for so they're using the skull to manufacture heads for T-Rex models.
Mhm.
And sometimes they'll use artificial bone, but then they'll ask for 100,000 legs cut from the shoulder down, and they'll use that. And
if you're looking for that kind of thing, here's your guy.
that's it, man. If you hunters want to join, like I said, man, when I first put the iguana people together, I come from a very long line of organization and stuff like that. I want to put a group together that can solely build on one mode. We all work together, we all make the money, we all get our share, and that's it.
And for all you tinfoil hat wearing individuals out there, it's not talking about lizard people.
Yeah.
It's
No.
talking about people who work with lizards.
Yeah,
It's a
people.
very
Yeah.
important distinction.
Yeah. Yep. Just like Jim Morrison said, I'm the lizard king. I can do
Yeah.
anything.
There
There you
go.
go.
There you go.
There you go, man. But no, seriously, on the real side, if anybody any of these hunters ever wanted to get with me and sit back and talk about what you can do, I have the connections. In a group we can move a mountain, guys. It's just not up to one person. There's so much work out there.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of it's not even here, and y'all don't even know it because you've never been outside the United States. The market outside the United States right now is the best market in the world. You know why? I don't have to tell you why, because you know what we got going on in our country. But I'll leave that for another story. But
Yeah.
someday it's going to be fixed,
Yep.
and it'll be great again.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
So, on that note, again, we use everything that we use. We don't leave anything go to waste, and so far it's been good. You know, we're looking for a few more good men. You know,
That sounds like the old Marine Corps.
yeah. Well, that's it. That's how it is. There's always a brotherhood. You
Yeah.
understand when you
Mhm.
got when you got them kind of people together.
Yep.
I was surrounded by that kind of life, for the better part of my life.
Mhm.
So, if you have, I'd rather have 10 good brothers
Mhm.
to take on the world than 50.
Yep.
You understand? Because with 10 good brothers, you can move anything. You can move the world, guys.
Yep.
Trust me.
Great.
Been there. Been
Yep.
there and done that. And it's like I said, I'm picking my team. I got a great guy here. I got a great couple of guys that work for me. You understand? And that's it. And we're moving it, man. We're doing it. And we didn't expect this. And it's like I said, I have to thank God first. Always thank God first. I thank him for letting me get up every day. Most people don't ever hear me saying that, but it's like I said, I was a very sick man when I came down here.
Yeah.
Almost 400 pounds. Now I'm moving around and cut all my medications because I'm doing something that I love.
Yeah.
You understand? And this is where we're at. And I'll tell you, by next year, I'm going to be in a better place than we're at because, like I said, we're going to have a full organization of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Most don't understand it, but Pat, people like myself and Pat, we're all government minded. We all want to get that same thing, that same piece of that pie, and you know what? To service, state and government stuff like that, you're always guaranteed an income.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Correct.
And that's it. There's no ifs or buts. Every 1st and 15th of the month, your check is there.
Nice.
That's where you got to be, man. That's
Very
where you
good.
got to be.
Well, thank you for your time today,
Yes.
Johan. I really appreciate your insights and sharing
man.
your farm with us.
Oh, absolutely.
It has been an eye opener.
Yeah.
Your knowledge of aquaponics and the relationship of animals to
Yep.
the ecosystem has been a joy to share with you.
Great.
Yeah, I
I
want to
learned more about you.
thank you. Thank you. It's like I said, I want to thank a lot of the people that started me up. Well, I watched a lot of them on YouTube. You understand? I watched every one of them on YouTube. And even though that they were young and I'm 60 years old, I learned a lot from them.
Mhm.
You understand? But I was that guy that sat there at the end of this thing here, and I said, "Damn!" I said, "I would love to try that someday." Don't ever think that you can't.
Mhm.
You understand? Because once you try something that you have interest in, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's sewing. I don't care if it's riding a horse. If you ever feel like you wanted to do something,
Yep.
sit down and pray about it and get on the ball because
Follow that dream.
that's it. You only live once. I think Elvis said that, right? Follow that dream.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Do
All
that.
right.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. And don't forget, stay geeky. GoPro, stop recording.